In life, there are moments when we feel disheartened, comparing ourselves to others and finding our own lives lacking in comparison. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that everyone else is happier, more successful, or more content than we are. This story is for those who feel unsatisfied with their lives, who constantly look at others and think they must have it better. It's a tale designed to uplift your spirits and help you see the beauty and uniqueness in your own life. As you read this story, you will journey alongside a tortoise named Terrence, who struggles with feelings of inadequacy and envy. His journey is not just a tale of self-discovery, but also a reflection of the struggles many of us face in our own lives. Through Terrence's eyes, you will see how comparisons can cloud our perception and how true happiness often lies in embracing our unique qualities and circumstances. So, I encourage you to stay with us till the end of this story. It is filled with wisdom and inspiration that can shift your perspective and bring a new sense of contentment into your life. As you follow Terrence on his journey, you will encounter lessons that are as old as time itself, yet as relevant today as ever. You will see that every creature has its own challenges, and that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. By the end of this story, my hope is that you will come away with a deeper understanding of your own worth and a renewed sense of happiness. Remember, it's not about what we lack, but about appreciating what we have. So, settle in, open your heart and mind, and let this story of the wise tortoise guide you to a place of inner peace and joy. Once upon a time, in a lush, vibrant forest filled with towering trees and melodious bird songs, there lived a tortoise named Terrence. Terrence was not like the other animals who seemed to move through life with such ease and grace. With his heavy shell and slow, deliberate movements, Terrence often felt out of place and inadequate. The other animals would dash past him in a blur, leaving him feeling left behind and unnoticed. Terrence's days were filled with a sense of discontent. He spent his time trudging along the forest floor, wishing he could be as swift as the rabbit, as graceful as the deer, or as free as the bird soaring high above. Each morning, as the sun's golden rays filtered through the canopy, he would sigh deeply, feeling the weight of his unhappiness pressing down on him. One particularly warm and bright morning, Terrence found himself near a majestic oak tree. Seeking a moment of rest, he slowly made his way to the base of the tree and settled down in the cool shade. The leaves rustled gently in the breeze, creating a soothing melody that contrasted sharply with the turmoil in his heart. He looked around and saw the other animals bustling about, seemingly content and full of life. A tear welled up in Terrence's eye as he thought about his slow pace and cumbersome shell. Why couldn't he be like the others? Why did he have to carry such a heavy burden everywhere he went? As these thoughts swirled in his mind, the tear finally rolled down his cheek and fell onto the forest floor, glistening in the sunlight. At that moment, a serene and radiant figure was meditating under the oak tree, unnoticed by Terrence. This figure was none other than Buddha, who had come to the forest to find peace and tranquility. Buddha, with his compassionate heart and deep understanding of the nature of suffering, noticed the tear and the sadness etched on Terrence's face. Gently opening his eyes, Buddha observed the sorrowful tortoise and decided to offer his guidance. With a soft and peaceful presence, Buddha approached Terrence, his movements graceful and filled with compassion. "What troubles you, my friend?" Buddha asked in a gentle, soothing voice, his eyes filled with empathy. Terrence, startled but comforted by Buddha's presence, replied with a heavy heart, "O wise Buddha, I am deeply unhappy with my life. I move so slowly, and my shell is so heavy. No one admires me, They only laugh at my pace and ignore me. Life feels like a burden, and I can't help but wish I could be like the other animals, who seem so much happier and more graceful." Buddha listened intently, his heart aching for the despondent tortoise. He knew that every creature had its own unique challenges and that Terrence was not alone in his feelings of inadequacy. With a compassionate smile, Buddha said, "My dear Terrence, it is easy to see the lives of others and believe they have it better, but every creature has its own struggles and burdens. Happiness is not found in becoming someone else. It is found in embracing who we are. But if you truly wish for a change, I can help you." Terrence's eyes widened with a glimmer of hope and curiosity. "How can you help me, wise Buddha?" he asked, eager to hear what Buddha had to say. Buddha continued, "I possess a special mantra that can transform you into any animal you desire. However, before you decide, you must first seek out these animals and learn about their lives. Only then can you make an informed choice. Begin your journey by speaking with the rabbit, who is swift and admired by many." Filled with a renewed sense of purpose and determination, Terrence thanked Buddha and began his slow but steady journey through the forest, ready to discover the true nature of happiness. With a renewed sense of purpose and determination, Terrence the Tortoise set off on his journey to seek wisdom and understanding. His first destination was the home of the rabbit, known for its incredible speed and agility. Terrence moved slowly but steadily through the forest, his mind filled with curiosity about the life of the swift rabbit. After some time, Terrence arrived at a sunny meadow where he spotted a rabbit named Rupert, hopping energetically among the flowers. Rupert's fur was a soft, sandy color, and his large, expressive eyes twinkled in the sunlight. From a distance, the rabbit's life seemed perfect, filled with boundless energy and freedom to explore the meadow with ease. "Excuse me, Rupert," Terrence called out as he approached the rabbit. "May I have a word with you?" Rupert paused mid-hop and turned to see the tortoise making his way toward him. With a welcoming smile, Rupert replied, "Of course, Terrence. What brings you here today?" Terrence took a deep breath and began, "I have always admired your speed and agility, Rupert. You move so quickly and effortlessly through the forest. You must be the happiest animal in the world." Rupert's smile faded slightly and a shadow of sadness crossed his face. "Oh, Terrence, I appreciate your kind words, but I am not as happy as you might think." Terrence was surprised by this response. "But why, Rupert? You have everything I wish for: speed, agility, and the freedom to explore." Rupert sighed and sat down beside Terrence. "It's true that I can move quickly, but with that speed comes a constant sense of fear. I am always on the lookout for predators, foxes, hawks, and even humans who might want to catch me. Every day I live in a state of vigilance, never truly at peace." Terrence listened intently, feeling a growing sense of empathy for Rupert's plight. Rupert continued, "And while I can move fast, there are times when I wish I could escape entirely. I envy the eagle, who can soar high above the trees and see the world from a different perspective. The eagle can fly away from danger and enjoy the freedom of the skies. I often dream of what it must be like to have such freedom." Terrence was thoughtful as he listened to Rupert's words. He had never considered the fears and challenges that came with being a rabbit. "I understand, Rupert. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I wish you peace and safety in your journeys." Rupert nodded, appreciating Terrence's kind words. "Thank you, Terrence. I hope you find the answers you are looking for." With a heavy heart, Terrence realized that the life of the rabbit was not as carefree as he had imagined. He continued his journey, determined to learn more from the other animals and discover the true nature of happiness. His next destination was the domain of the eagle, whose freedom and ability to soar high had always been a source of envy for many creatures in the forest. After his enlightening conversation with Rupert the rabbit, Terrence continued his journey through the forest, heading towards the high cliffs where the eagle made its home. The path was arduous and steep, but Terrence moved with determination, eager to meet the majestic bird and learn about its life. As he approached the rocky outcrops, Terrence looked up to see an eagle soaring high above, its powerful wings slicing through the air with grace and strength. The sight was awe-inspiring, and for a moment, Terrence felt a pang of longing. He imagined what it must be like to glide effortlessly through the sky, far above the worries of the forest below. Eventually, Terrence reached the base of the cliffs and called out, "Eagle, may I speak with you for a moment?" The eagle, whose name was Ilara, heard the call and gracefully descended, landing on a sturdy rock near Terrence. Ilara's feathers gleamed in the sunlight, and her piercing eyes exuded wisdom and experience. "Greetings, Terrence," Ilara said in a calm, resonant voice. "What brings you to my cliffs today?" Terrence looked up at Ilara with admiration and respect. "Ilara, I have always been in awe of your ability to soar high above the trees and see the world from such great heights. You must be the happiest animal in the forest, with the freedom to fly wherever you wish." Ilara listened thoughtfully, then sighed deeply. "Thank you for your kind words, Terrence, but my life is not as carefree as it appears." Terrence was surprised. "But why, Ilara? You can fly anywhere you want and see the world from above. What could be troubling you?" Ilara's eyes softened with a hint of sadness. "While it is true that I can fly high and see far, my life is filled with endless journeys. I am constantly flying long distances in search of food and suitable nesting places. The winds can be harsh and the weather unpredictable. My wings grow weary, and there are times when I long for rest and tranquility." Terrence nodded, listening intently to Ilara's words. Ilara continued, "I often envy the fish who live in the serene depths of the water. They move gracefully through their world, surrounded by the gentle embrace of the currents. They do not have to contend with the storms and the constant search for sustenance. I dream of what it must be like to glide through the calm waters, free from the burden of endless flight." Terrence was taken aback. "I never considered that you might face such challenges, Ilara. I thought your life in the sky would be free of burdens." Ilara smiled gently. "Every creature has its own struggles, Terrence. The fish may have a serene life, but they are confined to the water and face their own dangers and limitations. Happiness is not about being free of challenges. It is about finding peace within our circumstances." Terrence felt a deep sense of empathy for Ilara. "Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me, Ilara. I wish you strength and peace in your flights." Ilara nodded appreciatively. "Thank you, Terrence. I hope your journey brings you the wisdom you seek." With a newfound understanding, Terrence continued his journey. Reflecting on the words of Ilara, he realized that every creature, no matter how seemingly perfect their life appeared, faced their own unique challenges. His next destination was the stream where the fish lived, eager to learn more about the life beneath the water's surface and the lessons it might hold. With a growing sense of wisdom and a heart full of empathy, Terrence the Tortoise made his way toward the tranquil stream that flowed gently through the forest. The sunlight danced on the surface of the water, creating a sparkling mosaic of light. Terrence approached the edge of the stream and peered into the clear, cool water, hoping to find a fish with whom he could speak. Soon enough, a fish named Finley swam gracefully into view. Finley had shimmering scales that glistened like precious gems, and he moved with an effortless elegance that made the water seem like his own personal playground. Terrence called out to him, "Hello, Finley. May I speak with you for a moment?" Finley, curious about the tortoise at the water's edge, swam closer and replied, "Of course, Terrence. What brings you to the stream today? Terrence looked at Finley with admiration. I have always marveled at your life in the water, Finley. You move so gracefully and seem so at peace in your underwater world. You must be the happiest creature here. Finley's eyes reflected a hint of melancholy as he responded. Thank you, Terrence. But my life is not as idyllic as it may seem. Terrence was surprised. But why, Finley? You have the entire stream to yourself, and you move so beautifully through the water. What could possibly trouble you? Finley sighed and swam in slow circles, his thoughts heavy. While it is true that I can navigate the water with ease, I am confined to this stream. My world is limited to the water, and I can never explore the land or the sky. I see you, Terrence, moving both on land and in the water. You have the best of both worlds, and I often envy your ability to adapt and explore. Terrence listened, feeling a deep connection with Finley's words. I never realized that you might feel confined, Finley. I thought your life in the water was perfect, Finley continued. Each day, I swim through the same currents, seeing the same sights. While I appreciate the beauty of my underwater world, I long for the freedom to experience life on land, to feel the earth beneath me, and to explore beyond the confines of the stream. I imagine what it must be like to have the versatility that you possess, to be able to thrive in both environments. Terrence felt a profound sense of understanding and compassion for Finley. I understand now, Finley. Thank you for sharing your feelings with me. I wish you serenity and joy in your beautiful underwater home. Finley smiled appreciatively. Thank you, Terrence. I hope you find the wisdom and contentment you seek on your journey. After his enlightening conversations with the rabbit, the eagle, and the fish, Terrence the Tortoise slowly made his way back through the forest, his mind abuzz with new insights. Each encounter had revealed to him that no matter how perfect another creature's life seemed, they all faced their own unique challenges and harbored their own envies. These revelations filled Terrence with a sense of understanding and a newfound appreciation for his own life. As Terrence approached the majestic oak tree where Buddha awaited, the sun was beginning to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the forest. The leaves rustled gently in the evening breeze, and the air was filled with the calming sounds of nature settling down for the night. Buddha sat peacefully in meditation, his serene presence a comforting sight for the returning tortoise. With a deep breath, Terrence finally reached Buddha and respectfully bowed his head. Wise Buddha, he began, I have visited the rabbit, the eagle, and the fish, as you suggested. Each of them, despite their remarkable abilities and lives, has their own struggles and envies. Buddha opened his eyes and looked at Terrence with a warm, knowing smile. Tell me, Terrence, what have you learned from your journey? Terrence's eyes shone with the clarity of his newfound understanding. I have learned that the rabbit, though swift and agile, lives in constant fear of predators and envies the eagle's ability to soar. The eagle, despite its freedom to fly high, grows weary from endless journeys and longs for the fish's serene life underwater. The fish, confined to the stream, envies my ability to live both on land and in water. Buddha nodded, encouraging Terrence to continue. Each of these creatures admired something about another's life, believing it to be better than their own. But they all have their own unique burdens, Terrence continued. I now see that my own life, with its slow pace and heavy shell, is not a burden, but a unique gift. My ability to thrive both on land and in water is something to be cherished. I no longer wish to be anyone else. Buddha's smile deepened, his eyes twinkling with pride. You have gained true wisdom, Terrence. Happiness is not found in comparing ourselves to others, but in appreciating and embracing our own unique qualities and circumstances. Every life has its own beauty and its own trials. The key is to find contentment within yourself. Terrence felt a deep sense of peace and gratitude wash over him. Thank you, wise Buddha, for guiding me on this journey of self-discovery. I am grateful for my own unique traits and perspective. I now understand that true happiness comes from within, and I am content with who I am. Buddha nodded, his heart full of compassion and joy for the enlightened tortoise. Go forth, Terrence, and live your life with this newfound wisdom. May you always find peace and contentment within yourself. With a heart full of gratitude, Terrence left the oak tree and returned to his home in the forest. He moved slowly, but each step was filled with a sense of purpose and joy. No longer burdened by envy or discontent, Terrence embraced his life and his unique abilities with pride. He had discovered the true nature of happiness and learned to appreciate the beauty of being himself. And so, Terrence lived the rest of his days with a light heart and a joyful spirit, finding contentment in every moment and every aspect of his life. The lessons he had learned stayed with him, guiding him through life's challenges and helping him to always see the value in his own unique journey. As we come to the end of this story, it's important to reflect on the profound lessons Terrence the Tortoise learned during his journey through the forest. Each step of his adventure revealed a universal truth. Comparing ourselves to others only leads to unnecessary unhappiness. The rabbit envied the eagle envied the fish, and the fish envied the tortoise. Yet, each of these animals face their own unique challenges and burdens. Terrence's journey teaches us that true contentment comes from within. When we constantly measure our lives against others, we overlook the beauty and value of our own experiences and abilities. Each of us possesses unique qualities and circumstances that make our journey special. By appreciating what we have and who we are, we can find a sense of peace and fulfillment that comparison can never bring. Think about your own life. What are the qualities and circumstances that make you unique? Perhaps it's your ability to connect deeply with others, your resilience in the face of challenges, or your creativity and innovation. Whatever it is, these are the aspects of your life that deserve recognition and appreciation. Instead of focusing on what others have that you don't, celebrate what makes you, you. Happiness isn't a destination that can be reached by becoming someone else. It is a state of being that flourishes when we embrace our own path. Just as Terrence found joy in his ability to thrive on both land and water, we too can find joy in our own strengths and experiences. So, I encourage you to look within yourself and find that wellspring of happiness. Appreciate the journey you are on with all its ups and downs, for it is uniquely yours. Embrace your strengths and accept your challenges as part of the tapestry that makes your life rich and meaningful. As we part ways, remember these words of wisdom. True happiness lies in contentment with what you have and who you are. There will always be someone who seems to have more or less than you, but those comparisons are fleeting and superficial. What matters is the deep, abiding sense of peace that comes from knowing and valuing yourself. Keep smiling, for a smile is a reflection of the joy that resides within you. Stay positive, for positivity is the light that guides you through even the darkest of times. And always remember, you are unique, you are valuable, and your happiness is within your reach. Thank you for journeying with Terrence and for taking the time to reflect on these important life lessons. May you carry this wisdom with you and find contentment in your own beautiful, unique life.